Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Mic is on. Magic Marquise. This is the Healing Cancer, where we get high on vibrations. How many times have you found yourself repeating the same cycles over and over again? Whether it's the same people, same circumstances, something just keeps bringing you back to this point. Saturn is the planet of karma, lessons, discipline, masculine energy. It's Daddy Saturn. Everybody has a Saturn return. Saturn pushes you into alignment of wherever your north node is. So those cycles that you keep finding yourself in every couple of years, sometimes Saturn could be responsible. You have something called a Saturn square. Lots of people online talk about Saturn, but they don't really mention Saturn squares. These are the ages that you have a Saturn square. Typically around age 21, this is like when you're establishing your independence, so it's giving more of who am I beyond your upbringing. So after you get your Saturn square around the age of 21, you'll come into your actual Saturn return around the ages 27 to 30. But Saturn return is character development. It may seem like a lot of turmoil, so don't emotionally suppress. Have emotional maturity. Feel it fully and still choose to rise above the occasion. Don't fold. Sit with all that grief and pain. Figure it out. Because the more that you avoid it, the more you bring that cycle right back around. And you're going to continue to experience the same things over and over again, Father Time. Don't get caught in the loop. Create boundaries, not walls. And make sure when you say no to people, make sure you're saying no for yourself because you value yourself. And don't say yes because you're scared of rejection. Make sure it aligns with your truth. And another thing, there is no need to overgive or overexplain. So cut the people pleasing, because the people are never pleased. Without any boundaries, you become drained. And with too many boundaries, you become rigid and disconnected. Find your balance. So Saturn sounds like it could be a lot more negative than what it actually really is. It may be binding, but it's also just teaching you to course correct. So do pay attention to what's happening at that 27, 28, 29, 30 mark, because it very well could return when you get that Saturn square at 35. Because around 35, your perspective will shift more into career, family, your identity. So that 35 Saturn square will be repeated energy around that 27 to 30-year-old mark. So if you didn't learn your lessons then, they're coming back around at 35. And hopefully by then, you would have learned your lessons, because it's coming to get around again at 49, at age 49. Another Saturn square. That one will be more of a spiritual shakeup. Kind of like, are you walking your talk? What's your belief system like? Are you abiding by the system that you're preaching, essentially? Then you'll get your actual Saturn return around like age 57 to 60-ish, because Saturn moves every like 29 years. So what science calls your 30-year breakdown is usually your Saturn return. You ever meet those people who are like, oh, I've been this way my whole life? Yeah, because you probably missed your Saturn return. You didn't acquire the lessons. You didn't ascertain the information that you were supposed to. And that's why you're how you are, or how they are. Now, what's very interesting is around ages 14 and 44, those are actually Saturn oppositions. That's the ages when you kind of redefine who you are, whether you realize it or not. 14, you're a preteen, so you're about to be an adult. At 44, you're kind of moving into that I don't give a stage. Age 14, it's more so being rebellious. That's your psyche screaming at you to stretch past the mold. Whereas at age 44, the frontal lobe is a little more developed. You're more so having a midlife crisis, reevaluating your choices, your life choices. How does this work for me? How does that work for me? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm definitely not doing that anymore. And are you proud of the structures that you built thus far at this age? Saturn returns really just mark the beginning of a new age. It's kind of like reestablishing adulthood. So after your first Saturn return, you may leave a job that no longer fits you. You may leave a relationship that you've outgrown. And you could even step into the role of responsibility and be in the spotlight. Or you could feel just completely lost yet compelled to find your truth. So you can do something called cycle mapping, which might be a little easy for you to kind of track these patterns. Cycle mapping is typically every 7 years. So literally starting age 7, 14, 21, 28, that's pretty much, and you can kind of keep track of some of the cycles that you are in. So I would, starting at age 7, going up, just ask yourself these questions. What major challenges or transitions happened at this age? What were you forced to confront or let go of? What lesson did you understand only after it happened? What are you committing to? What have you outgrown? What did you outgrow during these ages? What did you build that would last? Now, if you make it to your third Saturn return, which isn't as common, but that is around ages 86, 80, almost 90, that's more your spiritual. Like, you're like, okay, I'm ready to be out of here. I didn't see what I had to see. This is truly spiritual mastery. You are no longer climbing the mountain. You are becoming the mountain. This brings legacy. This is like, hey, I've established, what am I going to teach people from here? The people who are coming behind me, relatives, younger people, what wisdom am I leaving behind or giving to others?